Hey, if you struggle with social anxiety, I've taken thousands of students through this process and it works. Here's exactly what I would do to overcome it. Let's talk high level first and then we'll go pragmatic. We'll go super pragmatic and I'll give you 5 or so steps on how you can approach this and how you can work on this. When we are anxious in any situation, I have this belief that we are anxious because we are unfamiliar with that situation. We are anxious in that situation because we haven't experienced that situation frequently enough. And it goes back to some experiments that I remember reading about. And it was an experiment where a lot of scientists and a lot of doctors have discovered that one of the main reasons why a lot of children in today's world have peanut allergies is because of a lack of exposure to peanuts when they were young. And maybe their parents didn't even eat peanuts when they were, being in mum's belly, right? And as a result of a lack of exposure to peanuts, it's created generations of children now who are allergic to peanuts. And to me, I think the same thing is happening now currently in our society where we are so absorbed by these devices, we are so engaged and addicted to screens that we no longer socially interact on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, sometimes on a monthly basis. And as a result of spending more time interacting with people online, on our phones, as opposed to socially in-person interacting, we've kind of created the same situation with peanut allergies. We've done the same thing with social interactions. And now we have a generation of people who find it really difficult to socially interact. So what I'm getting at is, how would a psychologist approach this? And I've been very lucky to have someone like Dan on my team who's a psychologist of 14 years. And I've been able to learn so many psychological concepts from Dan, not a psychologist, but from what I've been able to learn and in my conversations with Dan, what I've been able to learn is that it's exposure therapy. So if someone's afraid of heights, a psychologist would take them through exposure therapy. So if you're afraid of heights, then they'll take you to level 0.5, and then they'll kind of get you to experience that and help you realize there's nothing to fear. Then they'll take you to level 1. Then maybe we'll stay at level 1 for a couple of weeks. Then we'll go to level 2. Then maybe we'll stay there for a couple of weeks. And again, it's a form of exposure therapy. And this is a very boring thing to do. And I think paired with our desire to have tips and we want solutions that are quick, solutions that give me rapid success. And if anything takes time, we find, boring, don't want to do it. So as a result of that, the answer that I'm going to give you right now, you may find it's too slow and it's too boring, but this is actually the way forward to cure it, I believe. It's slowly expose yourself to it. Slowly expose yourself to more social situations. I'll give you another example from my life. My son loves animals. Xander, my boy, he loves animals. Anything to do with animals, it's his obsession. He loves it. And I love that. I love that about him. And something my son's always been scared of is he's been scared of snakes. And I'm petrified of snakes. I'm super scared of snakes. And I live in Australia, it's like there's a snake everywhere. So I'm so scared of snakes, it really cripples me, right? For the longest time, it's been a massive fear. So I kind of went, all right, I want to teach my son how to be brave. I want to teach my son how to be courageous. So my son and I both scared of snakes, but my son loves animals and he does love snakes, right? And so what we did was, we started to watch documentaries on snakes. We started to watch so many documentaries. And we started to realize that, oh wow, snakes are just like any other animal. They're just as scared of us as we're scared of them. Snakes aren't just waiting in the bush for a human to come across and then just to kill us, right? And then we also learned really interesting stats that 0% of people actually, nobody dies from a snake bite. People die from snake venom, not from the snake bite. So, you start learning all these interesting things. You're like, oh, okay, interesting. And then you learn also, if you get bitten by a snake, as long as you know what snake has bitten you, they teach you all these techniques on how you wrap the bandage around you. In case you do get bitten, what do you do? So you learn all of these things. And the more we learned in these documentaries, the more we started to realize, oh, okay, all right. It's actually not that frightening. Snakes are just like any other animals. Right? Unless you threaten them, they're not gonna bite you. And then after that, we went to the zoo, and my son and I would just sit right in front of the snake enclosure and just watch the snakes, and would look at the snakes. And in the end, I kid you not, we started thinking, oh wow, snakes are kind of cute. And we got to the point where we did this for over a period of 12 months, to the point where just last year, my son and I put a snake around our neck.
I'll touch it gently, gentle.
Gentle.
Good job.
Yeah, good. You're thinking about it. See, just a little wiggly worm. Yeah.
And it was one of the most proud moments that I had for myself because as a father, I got to show my son how we can face one of our greatest fears. And it was so cool. I mean, I'll admit to you, when I had that snake around my neck, I still had this scary thought that I would be that one person that holds the snake and then all of a sudden it's going to bite me right in the throat and destroy my speaking career and my teaching career. The snake didn't do it, of course, but I was thinking that the entire time. We got through it. My son was super excited. He pet the snake. I held the snake. And now we've been able to get rid of this fear that was controlling us. There are times where my son and I wouldn't even go for a hike, right, in a certain destination because we've heard that there were snakes there before. Now we go for hikes. We've been able to face that fear now, and it's opened up so many doors of opportunity for us to do things that we wouldn't have done before because we feared snakes. I bring up this story to tell you because don't let the anxiety in social situations stop you from going out. Because there are friendships that you could be making. You may have a best friend that's out there seeking you, waiting for you to overcome this fear. And once you overcome this fear, all of a sudden, one of the best friends, best relationships you're ever going to have in your life, you're going to be able to have in your life as a result of you overcoming this anxiety. Here's my 5-step process. Hey, by the way, if you're new to my channel and you're enjoying the communication content, you may not know this, but I run free 2.5-hour live masterclasses where you can learn in a structured way with me. So if you want to trial learning with me, click the link in the pinned comment section to save your spot. Hope to see you in class. The first thing that I think you have to do is you must start small. It's like me. If I went from being scared of snakes to go holding a snake, I would have been paralyzed in fear. The snake probably would have felt it and would have bit me in the face. Okay? So here's how you start small with social anxiety. Here's what I would recommend. The first thing that I'd recommend you do, start really small. Send some of your friends a voice message. Yep. And play with your vocal foundations. Play with your voice while you're doing it. Don't just send them a, hey, I just want to send you. No. Play with your voice. So send a voice message and do that once a day. Start small. And then as you start to send voice messages and you become more comfortable with you using your voice, your instrument, then after that, all right, I want you to take it up a step. Send them a video. And you might feel weird about this. You might be like, oh, Vin, this is so weird. Why would I send them a voice note? Do you know how beautiful it is to send a video or an audio to one of your friends and just say, hey, and I do this to my friends as well. We send voice messages all the time where I say, hey, Lenny, just want to send you a quick video, man. I've been thinking about you this morning. I know that one of the things you're struggling with right now in life is this. I just had a thought, not a recommendation. I just had a thought I wanted to share with you. Here's the thought. And when you do that as a video, it's beautiful. It's only weird because you think it's weird. It's not weird if you don't think it's weird. It's like Confucius says, if you think you're right, you're right. If you think you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm going to add to what Confucius says. If you think you're weird, well, then you're weird. If you think you're not, well, then you're not. Right? So please don't let that judgment, don't let that part of the brain stop you from taking action on these steps. So now you got the first 2 steps. Send voice message. Second step, send a video. Third step, let's take it a step further. Third step is you go to the grocery store and instead of going through the self-checkout section, now I want you to have interactions with another human being. Instead of the self-checkout, go where there's actually a grocery store person, right? With the grocery store clerk. Go to them. And while you're standing there waiting for them to scan your goods through the groceries, talk. Don't just stand on your phone, talk. Ask some questions. Bring 3 questions along that you've pre-prepared. Hey, how's your day? And then they're going to ask you the same question in return. Prepare a response. Don't just say, good. No, tell them how your day was, right? Tell them the most exciting thing that happened to you. Just go, oh, actually, hey, thanks for asking. I'm having a great day. One of the best things that happened to me today is I got to run a class teaching public speaking, and it just made me feel so fulfilled. It made me feel, it just made me feel so good inside. How about you? What's the most exciting thing that's happened to you today? And that could be the second question you ask them. What's the most exciting thing that's happened to you today? And even if they go, oh, not much, I've been stuck at work all day. It's that's all right. That's all right. Hopefully this conversation is going to be the most interesting thing that happened to you, right? And then prepare one more question to fire at them. And I love asking this question. And if you think this question is weird, that's only because you think it's weird. I don't think it's weird, so it's not weird. So I ask them, okay, hey, we're gonna be here for a few minutes anyway. I love asking people this question. Do you mind if I ask you a curly whirly one? What's been one of the biggest lessons you've learned in the last 12 months? I love learning from people. I love learning because I believe everyone has something to teach. Everyone has something valuable. And you will be shocked at some of the lessons I've been able to learn just from asking this question. And every time I ask this question, I see people light up because they go, oh my goodness, this person cares about my opinion. This person cares about what I have to say. And then guess what? The moment you ask that, it's going to get them to think. They'll say something. And then at the end, they'll be like, how about you? What's been one of the most powerful lessons you've learned? And then answer. And then once you've done that at the grocery store, do that once a week, twice a week, however many times you go to the grocery store, then go to step 4. Now plan opportunities where you can go for a walk in the city. And when you go for a walk in the city, go for a 30-minute walk. It's good for your health. It's good for your mind. It's good for your body. Then while you go for that walk, your KPI, key performance indicator, is you've got to greet at least 10 people in that 30-minute walk. Greet 10 people. And once you get over the greeting and you are comfortable with that, now greet someone, compliment someone. Greet someone, then compliment, then ask a question. Greet someone, compliment, ask a question, and then ask for a recommendation of where you should go to eat, where you should go to be able to find good coffee, right? So ask for recommendations. And just normalize this. Expose yourself to social situations more and more and more and more and more and more. And then slowly, don't be afraid to level up these scenarios. Go to work. Find an opportunity at work where you can say to your manager, go, hey, James, do you mind if in the next team meeting, I take 5 minutes to share some of the results that I've found in my line of work? I think these results will be so powerful to share with the team, to align the team on why what we're doing is so important. Do you mind just giving me 2 to 5 minutes? Is that okay? Listen, this is the only way. It's the boring way, but it's the only way. It's like in life, I hope you don't mind me sharing a little bit of my philosophy, but I believe in slow wealth. When I think about wealth creation, I love slow wealth. I hate fast wealth. I don't like get rich quick strategies, because if you can gain wealth quickly, those types of strategies also cause you to lose wealth quickly. Whereas when you build wealth slowly and you just slowly build your wealth, do you know the best thing about slow wealth is that even if you start to lose your wealth, you lose it painfully slowly. And I've now learned the power of doing things slowly. Whereas when I was young, I just want things quick. No, I want it now. I want 7-second abs. I don't want 7-year abs. P.S. I don't have abs. I'm very doughy. Okay. But then the thing is, I've just learned about slow progress, right? I've learned about, okay, I have no desire to have abs, but for me, I just want to be healthy. So for me, I take the slow approach. I'll exercise 35 to 45 minutes a day, and I'll do that 4 times a week. And I'm just going to slowly work on my health. And then if you slowly work on your health, it's also really slow as you lose it, right? It's not like all of a sudden, I'm going to be able to put on 50 kilos. No, it doesn't work like that. So understand the power behind slow progress. And I started to learn the importance of slow progress through the idea of compounding interest. When I started to learn the power of compounding interest, I'm like, wow, putting a little bit aside every single month, now being 14 years into that process, this is one of the most powerful forces I've ever experienced in my life, right? And now my mind has opened up to slow progress. Slow progress is still progress. So don't look at these steps and go, oh, wow, it's so slow, it's painfully slow. No, don't throw shade on slow progress. It's one of the most powerful forms of progress in the world. Hey, if you want to learn more about communication skills and go deeper down the rabbit hole with me, click the video you see up here. And if you want to come trial learning with me and you want to learn in a more structured way, come join one of my live classes. It's absolutely free. Click this link here. Hope to see you in class.